short leash as a line down the left field line. It just hooks foul for Carter Hayes. Just a long strike for him. Carter Hayes, 1 for 2, got caught looking in the second and then had a base hit in the fourth. Reached as far as third, but was unable to score as the Tigers had the bases loaded in that fourth inning. The 0-1, that just misses high for ball one. Carter Hayes batting 176 in his freshman year. Getting a rare start here at third base. 2 in as many nights. Here's the 1-1 by the lefty. And that is a shot down to Kelly. Kelly gathers it, throw on to first, and that is out number 1. A 6-3 ground out. That brings up Kevin Sondry. Sondry 1 for 2 tonight, had a base hit and then sent one into left field that was hit well, just was unable to carry any further. He'll get his third at bat to face this lefty. There is activity in the bullpen. Here's the first pitch to Sondry. That's up high for ball 1.
Yeah, you would think this is the last inning for Miller. I mean, Miller up to 87 pitches now. Kind of wondered if he'd be done after the 5, but I guess pitch count wise, let him have a chance here for the 6th.
The 1-0 is another shot over towards Kelly. He'll throw on to first, and that is out number 2. So back-to-back ground outs to the shortstop, and there are 2 away.
Yeah, aggressive first pitch swinging or second pitch swinging. That'll help pitchers go an extra inning or so than perhaps they would normally.
Now up to 88 pitches, and for Grady Miller, he's actually pitched extremely effectively. He actually had a 1-2-3 inning in the 5th. And the first pitch is popped up, and it'll go foul. He had the 1-2-3 in the 5th, and also had a 1-2-3 in the 2nd. Tigers had the opportunity in the 4th, but were unable to capitalize. They did score in the 1st and the 3rd. 2 runs in the 1st and 1 run in the 3rd. Here's the 0-1 to Boris. That is low, ball 1.
And, of course, one of those runs, thanks to the throwing error from Miller.
So with 2 outs, here's the 1-1. Miller in the windup, and that's low, ball 2. Miller so far tonight, through 5 2/3, 6 hits, 3 runs, 2 of those being earned, has struck out 8 Tiger batters, has also walked 4. Here's the 2-1, and there's a shot right up towards Kelly. He'll gather it, he'll throw on to first, and he's out. That one was not as close as the Berry throw, but that one got Boris, and another 1-2-3 inning. So we head to the top of the 7th. Tigers still lead 3-1 on the Tiger Digital Network and on W.TV.
Tomorrow at 12 noon. Again, the first pitch is tomorrow at 12 noon.
Eric Easy E. Wright. Irvin Magic Johnson. These are just 2 of the many people who could not escape the horrible disease known as HIV. AIDS.gov calculated that 1.2 million people in the U.S. are living with HIV, and 1 in every 8 of them don't even know that they are HIV positive. It is time for everyone to go to their local doctor and get tested. Let's do what we can to make sure we continue the fight against HIV, so that we are no longer hearing sounds like this.
I don't want to die yet!
But instead hearing sounds like this.
I love you, Daddy!
Listen to this message. Please don't ignore. Go get tested, and the life you will save is yours.
Lincoln Center is Stockton's premier shopping and dining destination. Enjoy boutique shopping, our award-winning restaurants, and family-friendly atmosphere conveniently located at Pacific Avenue and Benjamin Holt. Less than 15 minutes from the University of the Pacific. Visit LincolnCenterShops.com for a list of stores that offer a discount to all UOP students. Lincoln Center, always in style. We head to the top of the 7th. To take us the rest of the way, here's Paul Meiskens.
Thanks, Jeff. As you mentioned, we head to the 7th, and it's the Tigers leading the Pilots 3-1. Portland 1 run, 5 hits, 1 error. They have left 6 on base. Tigers 3 runs, 6 hits, 2 errors. They have left 7. As the Pilots will have the 8-9-1 part of their batting order due up here against Justin Giovannoni, who is starting his second inning of relief as the first pitch to Thaxton fouled off. Thaxton 0 for 2, lined to short in the 3rd, and then struck out looking in the 5th against Tiger starter Cooper Casado, who went 5 innings, allowed just the 4 hits, the 1 unearned run with no walks and 5 strikeouts. Great outing for the junior right-hander, looking for his second win of the season, as home plate gets cleaned up a little bit before Thaxton steps back into the left side. It looks like we have some defensive changes, or at least one. Mobius has replaced Hayes in the number 9 spot, or in the number 8 spot in the Tigers order, and Mobius goes to second. Sondry, who started the game at second, is now at third. So there's your defensive changes to start the 7th. The 0-2 fouled off over the Tigers dugout to our left.
And you have to wonder, I mean, Carter Hayes did have that error that almost cost the Tigers in the 6th inning. And so you have to wonder if Coach New feels better now with Sondry over at third and allowing Mobius to have his run over at second.
And you mentioned Hayes also had a couple errors last night as well. So certainly right now, especially in a 3-1 game, you know, the reason they call it the hot corner sometimes, you get balls hit to you hard, and, you know, should those balls be hit hard, nice to have a guy like Sondry over there at third. The 0-2, once again, that pitch misses high and outside. Tigers had 2 runs in the first and 1 run in the third, and then that's been it since. 1-2, and kind of missing in the same spot as the previous pitch is Giovannoni for ball 2. Tigers 3 innings away from hopefully picking up their 3rd win in West Coast Conference play this season. The 2-2. Swing and a miss. The 3rd strikeout of the night for Justin Giovannoni as he gets Thaxton to strike out swinging for out number 1.
Second baseman, Michael Forgione.
And Justin Giovannoni is pitching a little bit differently after that inning, coming in relief, really attacking these Pilots hitters and feeling that he, almost with a sense of urgency after that last inning, kind of woke him up a little bit. And that last batter obviously showed it.
And the first pitch to Forgione from Giovannoni. Is that called strike?
Try saying that twice fast. 3 times fast.
How about no?
No. Fair enough.
But earlier this week when we saw Giovannoni, we saw partly due to aggressive Sac State batters. Also, he was throwing lots of strikes and a great outing on Tuesday, and now inning and a third scoreless so far here tonight. And an 0-2 count to Forgione here. And able to just get a piece of it and stay alive is Forgione, who has reached base twice. Was hit by a pitch in the 3rd and then singled and scored in the 5th to raise his average to 182 on the season. Count remains no balls and 2 strikes. And that fastball misses high and outside for ball 1.
I'll give you an opportunity to kind of mention some of the seniors for Portland as well throughout their broadcast. I wanted to at least acknowledge and congratulate some of these seniors because it is a tough feat to play baseball, Division I sports, regardless of the sport, and also be able to focus on school at the same time.
That 1-2 fouled off out of play, and I couldn't agree more. I've gotten the opportunity to go on the road with the Pacific baseball team for a game last season when they played up at AT&T Park, and got to go with the softball team as well. And to think that they go on that and they still have all that homework to do, it's quite the task. The 1-2, and that's a shot in the left center, and that'll be a base hit. Nice job by Barry once again to quickly get to that, and a pretty nice throw quickly to second base. So holding Forgione to the single is Barry there. So the second hit on the night for Forgione.
Center fielder. So,
In the second inning in a row, despite the 2 errors by the Tigers defense, 2 good plays by Barry and left to prevent bases. Probably prevented a run last inning by quickly getting to a 2-out base hit. Pilots ended up holding the runner at third and then not scoring.
Some of the things that are definitely underrated is the Tiger arms. I think that we know that Danny Mayer has a big arm in right, but I think we kind of take that to granted a little bit because the rest of the Tiger outfielders have pretty good arms.
Yeah, and while Mayer probably has the strongest arm, he's probably not as fast as the other 2 outfielders, especially Barry and Boris out there here tonight. And we've seen Barry show his speed to get to balls and prevent extra bases as that pitch fouled off out of play in the count. Now no balls and 2 strikes to Bo Brundage. Brundage is 2 for 3. Came up with 2 outs and a runner on third in the 5th and hit a base hit up the middle. Also singled in the 3rd. An 0-2 count. Giovanni will check on Forgione. And now the 0-2. Flared to left. Barry will take a few steps to his right and make the catch for out number 2. So after hits in his last 2 at-bats, Brundage is retired F7 for out number 2. And that'll bring up catcher Tate Bundick.
now batting, number 12, the catcher, Tate.
Nick 0 on the night. It's wide out to the right. Strikeout twice. Last strikeout, a big one. Actually, the strikeout before was the biggest one in the 3rd when he came up with the bases loaded and 1 out and struck out as that pitch misses low. Forgione at first. 6 stolen bases on the season. Fastball misses inside for ball 2. And 2-0 misses nowhere close for ball 3. Giovannone has not walked a batter yet on the night. As the sun is pretty much all but gone now, which is good. We have fireworks coming up after the game, the one firework game of the season.
That would have been. I mean, it's happened, but I haven't seen a game last only 2 hours. So I think the fastest one ever is 1 hour and 54 minutes, I believe. That was back like in 1910 or something like that, professionally.
3-1, and that's a high fly ball to center. Boris won't have to move very far. Camps under, makes the catch for out number 3. So Portland gets a base runner and does nothing with it. Stretch time here in Stockton. Pacific leads Portland 3-1 on the Pacific Digital Network.
Statistics show that there are more than 500,000 homeless people in the United States. 500,000 who will not have a roof over their heads, not have a warm bed to fall asleep in, and not know where their next meal will come from. Over 2,000 of them live in our backyard of the greater Stockton area in San Joaquin County. Few are aware of their struggles. The Pi Kappa Alpha fraternity at the University of the Pacific and Stockton Mayor Michael Tubbs will be holding a homelessness awareness event from April 12th through the 14th. During this time, the men of Pike will be experiencing the life of a homeless person by sleeping outdoors, only receiving food by donation, and raising money for local shelters and food banks. Mayor Tubbs will be speaking to the school and addressing this issue of homelessness in Stockton. Donations can be made to Pike's Hit of Reality, through check, cash, and card. Every dollar raised will go back into your Stockton community so that someone will know that they won't be falling asleep hungry tonight. This message is brought to you by the Pi Kappa Alpha Fraternity, Kappa Nu Chapter, and Pacific Tiger Radio.
We head to the bottom of the 7th. We have Fine Family Field Pacific in front 3-1. Tigers had 2 runs in the first and 1 run in the third, and so far that's held up. As Portland with just the 1 run in the 5th. As the Tigers will have the 2, 3, 4 part of the order due up, and looks like still out there for Portland is Grady Miller, who will
Now batting, number 10.
start the 7th. Miller through 6 innings, has allowed the 6 hits, 3 runs, 2 earned, 4 walks, 8 strikeouts. And perhaps helped out with a pretty quick last inning.
Yeah,
We'll get a chance here.
Yeah, 10 pitches makes it available for what, at least a couple more at bats.
Yeah, at least to start the inning. We'll see if he makes it through as that pitch misses for ball 1. His 93rd pitch on the night to Matt Tarantino.
I've been actually exceptionally impressed with this lefty. He's the ball that with him pitching, it dances. This freshman's going to be interesting for the next couple of years over at Portland.
Yeah, you would think one of his better outings this season. Entered 1-6 on the season with an ERA over 5, but that's dropped a little bit here because of his performance. But the count now 3 balls and no strikes to Tarantino, who has already walked twice to go along with his single. He has also scored twice, the 3-0, and that is ball 4. And, perhaps that might be it for Miller. You would think a 4-pitch walk, perhaps that's a sign of he's starting to tire.
And the bullpen is warm. I've been watching them. They've been pitching for about an inning, a full inning.
So they'll leave Miller out there at least for one more batter, and perhaps partly because he's had success against James Free here tonight. Free 0 for 2, although Free did reach with a walk in his last at bat back in the 4th.
We all know he can change that in one swing.
Would expect him to be taken the whole way, and of course, as I say that, he swings and misses.
And it looked like that the catcher Budnick might have gotten dinged on that.
Yeah, perhaps on the follow through from the swing of Free. But that pitch was low. That was probably the 5th ball in a row. Instead, Free chases that low pitch for strike 1.
Free could be pressing a little bit. 0 for 2 tonight. He may want to try and end that. Or 0 for 2 tonight, did reach base, but he may be trying to. He gets himself in a hole early, but is always able to be. The focus just changes once he hits 0-1, 0-2, and was able to either draw a walk or get a base hit or find a way to reach.
Tarantino kind of with just a couple step lead at first, and almost was like kept faking like he was going to go to second, kind of to draw the attention of Miller, and Miller will throw over. Tarantino at first is 2 for 4 on stolen base attempts this season. Wouldn't think he'll be taking off here. The 0-1, and that's fouled straight back. With a guy like Free at the plate, last thing you want to do is to have a guy get thrown out trying to steal second when Free's certainly capable of scoring the runner from first. So an 0-2 count now here to James Free, looking for his first hit of the night. Tigers with 6 hits. And another throw over to first. Make both Portland and Pacific with 6 hits apiece. Much fewer than last night when the two teams combined for 27 hits and 17 runs. But despite both starting pitchers here tonight with the ERAs over 5, it's been a pitcher's duel as the 0-2 misses high. Free with a long look down at the third base coaching box, and the catcher Budnick stands and Long look over at the pilot's dugout for the signal. Now a long look in here from Miller. The 1-2. And that misses low and outside.
And this is exactly what I'm talking about. Albeit they haven't been the best of pitches, and it's been very easy for Free to pull back on. But he works himself to an 0-2 spot. Probably should be 3-1 right now, but put himself into an 0-2 spot. And now here we are, and it's now 2-2. Works himself back into a count where he can mess around with a little bit.
Yeah, and you mentioned the pitches that have missed have not really been the most, hard to lay off, we'll say. And that might be partly because it's a guy like James Free where if you miss, and you miss over the plate, you're going to pay for it as that pitch misses for ball 3. So from an 0-2 hold, the count now full.
Be curious to see if Tarantino will run on this. Tiger's not extremely aggressive on the base pads as we've seen the stolen base stats, but we could see him move because he is a...
And he's not, or no, now he is to throw down to second, and he's safe. So the strikeout of James Free, Tarantino will steal second, his third stolen base on the season. It was almost like a delayed steal, sort of.
That's exactly what it was. Tarantino just hopped a couple times, and next thing you knew, he took off, and I think it may even caught Budnick off guard a little bit because he was kind of probably watching him out of the corner of his eye. But Tarantino in there safe. Now we got a runner in scoring position for the Tigers, and with only one away.
So Tarantino down to second on the strikeout of Free. Free now 0 for 3 as that'll bring up Ryan Schultz. Schultz is 1 for 3 on the night, and he takes a called strike. Schultz doubled in a run in the third. Before that, he struck out, and then he flew out to left in the fourth. A ball hit well, but just not hard enough to go off the wall. The 0-1. Catcher set up it outside, had to come back inside as that misses low for ball 1.
And it's funny that we talk about this because Schultz is up to bat, and the guy that was standing, who's now standing at second, is the guy that wound up scoring off of Schultz's double. Just saying. Just throwing it out there.
But last time it was at first.
So?
This time he's even closer. As that pitch swing and a miss. So the count now goes to 1 ball and 2 strikes. Tigers on the night just 1 for 6 with runners in scoring position. That one being the Danny Mayer 2-run single in the first, which right now is the difference. The 1-2 fouled off to the right, headed towards the beach volleyball courts. So count remains 1-2. Yeah, the infield and outfield playing deep. Outfielders not far from the warning track. Infield playing well back. Second baseman Forgione trying to keep Tarantino close. So leaves a hole on the right side. Now he heads back, and that pitch misses low for ball 2. See the second baseman Forgione. He's the one who's trying to keep Tarantino close at second, and then during Miller's windup, Forgione goes sprinting to his left to try to close the hole. Should
Tarantino
Schultz go the opposite direction.
During Miller's windup, Forgione goes sprinting to it.
2-2. Swing and a miss. Foul tipped actually into the glove of Budnick. So back-to-back strikeouts for Miller. 10 strikeouts now on the night for Grady Miller as he gets Free and Schultz. 2 big strikeouts, but another 2-out RBI chance here for the Tigers.
They're going to leave him in there, even though, albeit Danny Mayer is another guy just like Free and Schultz. He can make you pay with a mistake.
And I think Budnick perhaps thought that was going to be it for Miller. And you know what? This might be it for Miller, but before they go to the bullpen, they're going to have Miller intentionally walk Danny Mayer. So perhaps that's why Budnick started going out thinking that was it, and then was signaled to go back because they want Miller to intentionally walk Mayer before they go to the bullpen. We'll see. If that's what they end up doing, that pitch had the catcher Budnick kind of hopping up to make the catch for ball 2.
And I would almost be curious to see if there would be a little a game within the game kind of thing where they're going to probably go to the bullpen, possibly go to the bullpen, and if that's the case, we may see Lucas Halstead go in the designated hitter role. And
You have Casillas on deck, who's 0 for 3. Certainly, with a couple runners on base and 2 outs, would not be surprised if they try to go to Halstead. But right now, Casillas walks to the plate. And looks like we won't see a pitching change. So Miller versus Casillas here. McKay 0 for 3 on the night, struck out swinging in the first, reached on a fielder's choice, and then flew out to right in the 5th. Throw to second, and that's into Tarantino. So unfortunately for Miller, this time the ball, not a good throw, but this time hit the runner and stayed right there. We saw him throw one into center field earlier.
that's the second time Kelly's actually took one that's been difficult to field. He's kind of falling over Tiger players at this point. That's the second time.
Yeah, they tried to sneak Kelly in there with Forgione playing well back. He was holding him at second before. Strike called on the inside corner.
It was a good pitch right there. Lefty on lefty matchup, and Miller was able to throw a breaking pitch that just started to look like it was going to go high, and it actually buckled Koisian and called a strike as it went just around the thighs.
0-1. That misses low.
And also a good pitch sequence so far. A curveball or a breaking pitch and then a fastball that just went low.
And you would have to think this is it for Grady Miller. 114 pitches.
Workhorse style right there.
Trying to finish the 7th here. The 1-1. Swing and a miss. Mentioned Miller, 10 strikeouts on the night to go with 6 walks and 6 hits.
Boy, oh boy, that's regardless of the outcome, I mean, he's pitched well. 3-1, had that shaky start as we mentioned in the second inning, but otherwise, if you're the Portland Pilots, you have to be happy with what the performance is.
And the 1-2 is in the dirt, and that's going to allow the Tigers to head to third and second as Budnick faked the throw to second, perhaps not wanting to risk a throw in the center field to allow some runs. So a wild pitch allows the runners to advance. Tarantino now at third, Mayer now at second. So 2 in scoring position here for Casillas with 2 outs. A 2-2 count. Tigers a chance here, perhaps with a base hit to double the lead, the 2-2. And that just misses the outside corner. The count goes full. On deck is Blake Berry. Berry also 0 for 3 on the night, although he's made some nice plays defensively in left.
This is a big pitch right here for both teams. Tigers may be leading 3-1, but they probably need this one right here.
And the 3-2 is a soft ground ball to second. Forgione with the throw in time for out number 3. So the Tigers get a couple runners in scoring position, but do not score. Through 7, Pacific leads Portland 3-1 on the Pacific Digital Network.
My name's Rachel, and I'm 10 years old. I like riding my bike, playing soccer, and in 8 years, I'll be an alcoholic. I'll start drinking in middle school, just at parties. My friends will drink, so I will too.
Kids who drink before age 15 are 5 times more likely to have alcohol problems when they're adults.
My parents won't really know what's going on yet. I mean, I'll do okay in school, but when I drink, I'll do some things I don't really want to do. So by the time my parents talk to me about it, alcohol won't be my only problem.
Alcohol affects their judgment and their future, so start talking before they start drinking.
My parents won't believe it could happen to me.
For more information on teens and alcohol, and to learn what you can do, visit the web at
Statistics say that 4 out of 10
StopAlcoholAbuse.gov.
high school students will drop out of high school, but sometimes the difference between dropping out and finishing is a boost.
I sort of got messed up into gangs, and this one girl named Maria, she just told me to get my things straight, and ever since then, she's been there for me.
10 real-life, at-risk students are filming their year, so you can see what it's really like trying to get through high school. Go to boostup.org to see their stories, and give someone you know a boost, so they can finish. High school is hard. Graduating is harder. Brought to you by the U.S. Army and the Ad Council.
Ever think of light bulbs as being cool? They are if you choose energy-efficient bulbs and fixtures that have earned the government's Energy Star label. They're so hot, they're cool. Because they burn cool and last up to 10 times longer, you save money and oodles of energy. Change a light, help the environment, save some green. The solution is as close as your nearest lamp socket. Brighten your environmental future. From the U.S. Environmental Protection.
We head to the 8th here from Klein Family Field with the Tigers in front 3-1, and Justin Giovannoni's night is done. 2 scoreless innings for him out of the Tigers bullpen, and the Tigers will bring in a new pitcher. Jeff, who do we have?
Well, if you've heard this song for many times so far this year, the Remember Me for Centuries, I don't know the exact name of it, but that's Vincent Robio, a 5.0 ERA. He's 3-3 on the season, 4 saves, the all-time leader in saves in Tigers history. We'll take them out and try and get a 2-inning save here for the Tigers.
So Robio now the 3rd pitcher on the night for the Tigers, as Portland will have the 3-4-5 part of their order due up here in the 8th, as Kelly takes a called strike. Kelly is 0 for 3. Flied out to right, lined out to center, and then reached on the E5 in the 6th. And that pitch misses high, and Kelly actually kind of ducked down to make sure he didn't get hit by that one.
Actually, with him ducking down, it almost hit him.
Yeah, one of those he'd have been better off just standing up and leaning back. Then kind of leaned forward and ducked and almost ducked right into a header. One is a fastball in the dirt. Mentioned Robio, one of the seniors honored before the game here this evening. The 6-foot senior from Burlingame. Certainly would think they'll try to leave him out there for the 2-inning save, as the check swing and the appeal down the first base line and saying he went around was Kevin Walker. So strike 2. Tigers head Cooper Casad pitched 5 innings, followed by Giovannoni's 2, and now Robio here is. We're going to have a strikeout and the runner reaching on a wild pitch. So Kelly finds a way on base for the second at-bat in a row. The error last time, and now the strikeout wild pitch puts a runner on. And that'll bring the tying run to the plate in Kevin Wade. Wade is 0 for 3, the senior first baseman. Second on the Pilots team with 3 home runs. Also 21 runs batted in. And that's a nice pitch down the middle for a called strike.
That was a sharp curve, if I've ever seen one. It dived about 2/3 of the way there. It dove right about the knees and caught Kelly just kind of looking at it. Or Wade, excuse me.
And Kelly, of course, being the runner at first, reached on that strikeout wild pitch, and the 0-1 fouled off. Tigers looking to snap a 5-game losing streak. Portland was able to snap their 5-game losing streak with the win last night. An 0-2 count here to Wade. And it's a slow chopper to short. They'll have to just go to first. And the throw from Tarantino in time to get Wade for out number 1.
Good heads up by Tarantino. Knows that Kelly is a speedy guy and was able to reach the second. And it would have been an interesting kind of throw. Could it have gotten him? Possibly, but it was too close of a risk. It was a better idea just for Tarantino just to get the runner that he knew he could get. That was the guy who run into first.
And I'm not sure whose voice it was, but you could hear somebody was hollering first, and also Free was standing up pointing to first, and that's where Tarantino went to get out number 1. So down to second goes Kelly, and that'll bring up Cody Hawken, who takes ball 1. Hawken 0 for 3 on the night. Popped out to second, flied out to left, and then struck out swinging in his last at-bat. One 0. Fastball for a called strike.
And as opposed to last night, I'm listening to Portland in the dugout. I was hearing a lot more chatter, and tonight, not as much. It seems like that the way that this game's kind of gone, it's been fairly quiet on both ends, to be honest with you.
And that pitch fouled off out of play, and I guess it's easy to be excited and loud and full of energy when you're getting lots of hits and runs. And that was the case last night for both sides. Kind of hard to, easier for your offense and your plays to be vocal when you keep getting hits and scoring runs. Last night Portland winning 10-7 despite the Tigers out hitting them 17-10. Ground ball to short. Tarantino alertly will go to third, and now a rundown between third and second. And now the tag of Kelly for out number 2. So a very alert there by Tarantino. In fact, really, that was the best chance to get an out by far. The way that ball was hit, Hawken might have been able to beat that out for an infield base hit. Instead, alertly, Tarantino tosses it to Sondri, and then the rundown. And the Tigers get out number 2.
And for those scoring at home, 6-5-2. And
I don't think that was 6-5-2.
Was not 2? I thought the second baseman tagged him out.
Yeah, that would be 4.
Or 4. I'm sorry. I apologize. I knew what I wanted. I was just credited the second baseman, just the wrong. It wasn't the catcher.
Yeah, that would have been something else if James Free was involved in that tag.
I was ahead of myself. What can I say? I knew what I wanted. It's been a long day. You and I both know that.
if you're scoring at home.
6-5-4.
So now 2 down and a runner just on first. No longer a runner in scoring position for Hicks. Hicks is 1 for 3. He doubled in his last at bat. Is that 0-1 misses low? That's always one of my favorite things I hear when watching or listening to a game is for those of you scoring at home. Like, I really wonder sometimes who's scoring at home.
I might be.
Would you really?
No.
If you're scoring at home, contact Pacific Baseball on Twitter, or even message me or Jeff on Twitter. That's an error, or Jay Dominic, right?
That's right. Hasn't changed.
Let us know if you're scoring at home. We'd love to hear from you.
More or less, blow up at That's an Error Twitter feed.
I can take it. So a 1-2 count here. Inning started with a strikeout wild pitch, and then a ground out, and then a fielder's choice as a runner on first with 2 down. A 1-2 count here to Hicks. Aerobio looking for a scoreless 8th inning. And that just misses low for ball 2.
An old adage, where did that miss?
Over the plate.
That was a close pitch.
And a little low.
And,
is what I'm guessing.
Yes.
The 2-2. 2 down. And foul tip into the glove. Strike 3. The second strikeout of the inning for Vince Aerobio. And a 0 put up on the scoreboard in the top of the 8th. Through 7.5, Pacific 3, Portland 1 on the Pacific Digital Network.
Hi, my name is Aaron, and I'm a survivor of mannequinism. Mannequinism is basically when you turn into a hard plastic shell. They say it's from not being politically active. For me, it started when I didn't register to vote, and then I stopped volunteering, and before I knew it, I wasn't doing anything. And that's when I found the first sign. a small, discolored hard patch of plastic on my right shoulder. I thought it would go away on its own, but it didn't. It kept spreading. And when I could no longer conceal it with a t-shirt, I knew I had to see the doctor. He said I had this early stage of mannequinism and that my only hope was to get involved, even if it was something simple. So I began reading the newspaper and instantly got feeling back in my arm. I guess you could say I'm living proof you can fight mannequinism.
Protect yourself from mannequinism. Log on to fightmannequinism.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
Welcome back to Klein Family Field as we head to the bottom of the 8th with the Tigers in front 3-1, and the end of the night for Grady Miller, who pitched pretty outstanding here tonight, although leaves in line for the loss after 7 innings, allowing 6 hits, 3 runs, 2 of them were earned, walked 6 and struck out 10. And again, leaves in line for the loss. And Jeff, looks like we got a new pitcher. Who is it?
We have the righty Marty Luckenbach, who will be chiming in, a 3.33 ERA, 1-1 on the season. He has 5 saves in 24 innings in a third. He's given up 20 hits, 9 earned runs, and has struck out 18 opposing batters. He also did pitch in yesterday's game, pitched 1 inning, 1 walk in the 4 batters he's faced.
Yeah.
Got the save last night as well.
Yeah, perhaps the fact that he only threw 11 pitches is what allows him to be available here. In the bottom of the 8th, as he'll face the bottom 3 of the Tigers order, Barry, Mobius, and Sondry. So, Luckenbach to take the mound. The senior from Woodinville, Washington, 6'6", 220. Another big guy who will take the mound for Portland here in the 8th. Barry, looking for his first hit of the night, struck out, flied out, and grounded out. Mentioned he's also had some nice plays defensively and left. As that ball just fell down the right field line. We've yet to receive any messages saying anybody's scoring at home yet.
Well,
I'm really hoping we get one.
I almost was going to tweet you and say that.
We did get a message saying it sounds like we're having fun, and we always do have a lot of fun here. How could we not? How does it get better than this?
Sitting in the booth, watching baseball and calling it.
0-1, high fly ball that will be caught just on the edge of the outfield grass by Forgione for out number 1. So Barry 0-4 on the night at the plate. And that'll bring up Preston Mobius. Mobius, his first at-bat as he came in as a defensive replacement, replacing Carter Hayes. Mobius then moved to second base, and then Sondry moved to third, and we'll see Sondry batting after this. So Mobius will take a pitch inside for ball 1. Mobius batting .270 on the season.
And probably had his biggest hit of his career so far, and that was in the game against Fresno State, the game winner.
And that's a high chopper, and that'll be a base hit. That was really a tough ball for Thaxton at third to try to field as he was kind of going back, try to field it on the high hop, and unable to do so. So Mobius with the base hit, a 1-out single, and that'll bring up Kevin Sondry. Sondry is 1 for 3, singled in the second, and then is flied out to left and grounded out to short. As Tigers lead by 2, looking to hopefully maybe get an insurance run or so. Tigers have been held scoreless over the last 4 innings. And they're going to say that was fouled off. And so Mobius will, or they won't say it was fouled off. So Mobius will get the stolen base. And they'll just say that was a ball in the dirt. And Sondry totally swinged and missed. So a stolen base for Mobius. And the Tigers will have a runner in scoring position now for Sondry.
The first stolen base for the freshman in his career.
Yeah, previously 0 for 2. And the 0-1. One hopper, Thaxton knocks it down, recovers in time, and makes the throw across for out number 2. So hard hit ball right at Thaxton. Thaxton able to kind of have it go off his chest and down and pick it up in time and make the throw. So still a runner in scoring position, but now 2 outs, and it's back to the top of the order in Jimmy Boris. Boris 1 for 4. Singled and scored in the first, since then struck out twice and grounded out to short. And we both received a message again. Somebody asking if we've gotten a message. We'll make sure we let you know if anybody's messaged that they're scoring from home. As if you're scoring at home, Jimmy Boris has reached on a hit by pitch in the thigh area, we'll say.
That works.
And now that'd be if you're really keeping track of scoring at home. So Boris, the hit by a pitch, and it's now first and second and 2 outs, and that'll bring up Matt Tarantino. And Tarantino, he has walked 3 times here tonight. 1 for 1. Singled and scored in the third, walked and scored in the first, and then has walked in his last 2 at-bats as well, batting .308 on the season. A chance here with a couple runners on and 2 outs. See if the Tigers can get a 2-out base hit. First pitch swinging, towering fly ball. That could be an adventure. And Luckenbach and Budnick kind of both didn't look like either one of them wanted to make the play. Unfortunately for them, first baseman Wade will make the catch for out number 3. So the Tigers get a couple base runners, but do not score. We head to the 9th. Tigers 3, Portland 1 on the W.TV and the Pacific Digital Network.
I know, being a college freshman is supposed to be tough, but let me tell you about my schedule this semester. All 18 credits. Every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, I have American Lit at 8:05 a.m. And then I only have 15 minutes to get to my 9:15 Ethics and Value Theory class, all the way across campus. Then in the afternoon, Calculus 1. On Tuesdays and Thursdays, I have 2 lectures that go through lunch. Sociology of Families, then Intro to Microbiology. Pre-med. And finally, I have a double lab that ends around 9 p.m. Anyway, I just wanted to say thank you.
If a kid will do whatever it takes to get through college, what will you do to send her there? Please support the United Negro College Fund and call 1-800-332-UNCF, because a mind is a terrible thing to waste. A public service brought to you by UNCF and the Ad Council.
We head to the 9th. Tigers 3 outs away from win number 3 in West Coast Conference play, as Portland here in the 9th will have the 7, 8, 9 part of their order due up against Vince Arobio, as Arobio pitched the scoreless 8th with 2 strikeouts, looking to try to pick up his 5th save, as Jason Rosen will lead it off. Rosen 1 for 3, singled in the first and then grounded out to first and flied out to left in his last 2 at-bats. First pitch, a called strike. Portland was able to get their leadoff batter on base last inning against Arobio on a strikeout wild pitch, but they were unable to do anything with it. The 0-1, fastball on the corner, strike 2.
Arobio's, I wonder if he just wants to get senior night over with. He's just pitching like there's he's pitching like a closer.
Like somebody who's the program leader in saves.
That's right.
Sure, he has friends and family here, and now the 0-2 that misses high and outside. Both teams have struggled tonight with runners on base. Portland 3 of 15 with runners on. Pacific 2 of 17. Oh. Neither the runs or the hits have come in bunches tonight like they did last night, as that pitch is in the dirt. Free dropping to his knees for ball 2.
Rosen, one of the seniors, one of the 6 seniors here on Portland Pilots team.
Yeah, and a guy that hasn't played a whole lot this season, just his 9th game, 7th start. The 2-2. And that pitch will go all the way to the backstop off the glove of Free. So Arroyo, after getting ahead 0-2, is now thrown 3 straight out of the strike zone. The count now full. Certainly would think Arroyo will challenge him here, not wanting to walk the leadoff batter here. The 3-2. And that's ball 4, so that'll allow the tying run to come to the plate. As Rosen, after falling behind 0-2,
Now batting, number 8.
watches the next 4 miss.
Justin Thaxton.
So Rosen the leadoff walk, and that'll bring up Justin Thaxton. Thaxton is 0 for 3 on the night, lined out to short, and then is struck out looking and swinging in his last 2 at-bats. And that pitch misses for ball 1. So now 5 straight out of the strike zone. And Arroyo is really not a guy that walks very many batters. In 28 innings, he has walked now 15 while striking out 28. And that throw over to first has Rosen back in safely. Despite the limited action, Rosen does have a stolen base on the season. The 1-0. Chopped foul at the plate.
And that bounced off of Thaxton's foot. He actually had to kind of pull back a little bit. Do a little hopping around.
Now kind of ready, walking around, giving Thaxton an extra moment here. Schultz holding Rosen on at first. Sandri close to the line at third, and now time is called, and they'll come out and take a check on Thaxton, see if he's all right. Tigers playing no doubles, creating words here tonight.
I was going to say, is that a technical term?
But Sandri close to the line, near third, middle infield double play depth as that pitch finds the inside corner. Looked like perhaps Rubio might have missed his spot there, but still was able to find the inside part of the plate for strike 2.
Anytime a pitcher goes kind of does the oh no look and able to get away with it and kind of breathes a sigh of relief, it kind of actually sometimes will boost the confidence a little bit too.
And now time called at the plate. After Thaxton, it's Forgione, who, despite being the number 9 hitter, is 2 for 2 tonight. And then Brundage, the top of the order, who has 2 hits as well. The 1-2. Strike 3 called. Strikeout number 3 on the night for Vince Arroyo as he gets Thaxton for out number 1.
And that is about fitting, because that was 3 pitches that Thaxton just got a piece of 1, but otherwise that was a tough at bat.
Yeah, the 1-2 pitch there, you're kind of wondering what he was looking for there to not at least swing. So Thaxton out for out number 1, and that'll bring up Michael Forgione, who has reached base in all 3 at-bats, was hit by a pitch in the 3rd, and then has singled twice. First pitch swinging, fouled straight back into the net. Forgione does not have an extra base hit on the season. Does have 11 singles and 4 runs batted in. Scored his 11th run back in the 5th. And that ball's in the dirt, and that'll get to the backstop. That'll allow Rosen to head down to second. So a wild pitch will take away the opportunity for a double play and put a runner in scoring position.
And actually, if Free would have gathered it in time, Rosen wasn't really taken off. He could have just kept this to a single or kept the runner at first. Rosen benefited from it. Now the Pilots have an opportunity here.
Yeah, that ball bounced far enough away. Even you and me could have made it down the second on that one.
With me hobbling right now, you never know.
The 1-1, and that's in there. A called strike. Almost looked like Forgione thought it was inside, but instead he sees strike 2 called.
Forgione, another senior, visiting for the last time here at Klein Family Field.
A 1-2 count here. A walk and a strikeout and a wild pitch so far here in the ninth. 1-2, misses high for ball 2. So a runner in scoring position. Mentioned the runners on base total. Runners in scoring position. Portland 2 for 7. Tigers 1 for 10. But right now, it's the Tigers leading the Pilots 3-1 in game 2 of a 3-game series. 2-2 chopped foul. Game 3 tomorrow at noon.
Yeah, a little bit of a schedule change. Is normally most games are at 1, but this one's at noon.
And after that, not many home games left. Just 2 after tomorrow. One against UC Davis and one against USF as the season nears an end. 2-2 pitch again here to Forgione. High fly ball to second base, and it'll be the shortstop Tarantino to make the catch for out number 2. So Tigers 1 out away from the win here tonight, but to do so they'll have to get Brundage. Brundage 2 for 4 on the night, and even in his 2 at-bats, he's hit the ball well. Singled in the 3rd, an RBI single in the 5th. He has also grounded out and flied out to left. So 2 down, a runner in scoring position for Brundage.
Brundage has been, well, I would say the second biggest threat for the Pilots. He's 2 for 4, and also Forgione being 2 for 3. But he's been retired, so Brundage is basically the last opportunity here for the Pilots.
Brundage takes a called strike. Brundage does have 1 home run on the season. 4 doubles, 11 runs batted in. Actually make that 12 with the RBI earlier this evening. The 0-1. Strike called on the outside corner. Tigers now 1 strike away from the win here tonight. We'll try to have a pre-game or a post-game show, hopefully before the fireworks go off.
Stay tuned. We will have Danny Mayer going to be joining us. He'll be one of the guys, and I may try and convince to get one more. And I think we may be looking at him. We're just not going to really say too much yet.
And that ball bounces a few feet in front of home and kind of bounces over the head of Free into the backstop. So another wild pitch, and that allows Rosen to go to 3rd as he went to second on a wild pitch earlier in the inning, and now to 3rd on a wild pitch. Tigers still 1 strike away and 1 out away from the win here tonight. Brundage, who you mentioned, stands up very straight and tall in the batter's box on the left side.
And he's 6'5", so there's a good wide strike zone right there for him.
1-2, swing and a miss. And that'll do it. Vince Arobio with the 2-inning save.
Thank you for joining us here this evening.
As he gets Brundage to strike out swinging for his 4th strikeout of the night. So Tigers finally back in the winning column as the Tigers with the win will improve to 14-26, 3-17 in West Coast Conference play, as the win will go to Cooper Cassad. 5 innings, allowed just 1 unearned run. And then Giovannone, 2 scoreless innings in relief. And then Arobio, his 5th save of the season as the Tigers win 3-1. We'll take a break and be back with the postgame show. Tigers defeat the Pilots 3-1 here on the Pacific Digital Network and the W.TV.
Some people still don't believe that secondhand smoke is dangerous. This is Scott Bakula. Did you know that just being around someone who smokes can cause severe lung problems, heart disease, and cancer? But there is something you can do about it. Call for a free booklet from the Will Rogers Institute. It clearly explains the proven risks of secondhand smoke and the ways you can avoid exposure. Toll free 1-877-957-7575. Because secondhand smoke is dangerous. Believe it.
How can we help prepare our kids for the future? Hi, this is Roger McGuinn. These days, our children face challenges unimaginable to us only a generation ago. We adults need to help our kids find something in school that really sparks their interest and keeps them involved. If that something happens to be music, the child will benefit in so many ways. Playing music in school is a great way to make friends. Studies are showing that kids involved in music are less likely to get into trouble, and kids who studied music find science and math easier to grasp. They tend to score higher on SATs. It has something to do with something called spatial IQ. So get your kids involved with school music. It's a great way to help prepare them for life.
A PSA brought to you by MENC, the National Association for Music Education, and the National Anthem Project, the campaign to restore America's voice through music education. Music, part of a sound education.
Hi there, this is Sammy Hagar here for RAD, the entertainment industry's voice for road safety. Now, style's a personal thing, and your lifestyle is your business. But if you take it on the road, it becomes everybody else's business. Please plan ahead. Designate before you celebrate. Because friends do not let friends drive drunk.
A public service message brought to you by RAD, the National Association of Broadcasters, and the Ad Council.
That's the Big Dipper over there.
Yellow and blue make green.
Well, a cow pie really isn't a pie.
Come on, Biff! Open your eyes!
Remember, you're always teaching. Teach carefully. React with rage, and kids will learn it's okay to do the same. Keep your cool, and kids will do likewise. For advice, visit actagainstviolence.org. Brought to you by MetLife Foundation, National Association for the Education of Young Children, and the Ad Council.
Welcome back to Klein Family Field. Tigers victorious here tonight by the final score of 3-1 over the Portland Pilots. Paul Meiskens along with Jeff Dominic for the quick post-game show, hopefully before the fireworks start getting shut off. And Jeff, Tigers snap the losing streak with their third win in West Coast Conference play here tonight.
Well, absolutely. And, of course, you got to think of two things. One, even though they have two errors, those errors did not really affect them, albeit that there was one run allowed on the error. Pitching was a big part in this game so far, and then was a big part of this game tonight. And then a couple little timely hits. Danny Mayer, who will be seen here soon. And what more can you say by somebody like Vince Arobio? Gets his 5th save of the season, all-time leader in Pacific Tigers history for the program. And both those guys have done that. They'll be joining us here shortly.
Yeah, coming into tonight, we kind of saw both starting pitchers for both teams with the ERAs over 5. We thought we might have a high-scoring game like last night, and instead, really two great performances. First, you had Grady Miller for Portland going 7 innings, allowing just 2 earned runs, getting a tough loss. And then, what can you say? The Tigers pitching staff here tonight was outstanding. Cassad, 5 innings, allowing just 4 hits, the 1 unearned run, no walks, 5 strikeouts. Giovannoni, 2 innings, no walks, 3 strikeouts, and then Arobio with 2 scoreless and 4 strikeouts. So, while the hitting only scored a couple runs, it was enough. The pitching was outstanding here tonight for the Tigers.
Danny Mayer is making his way over here, and as he makes a couple steps, but Vince Arobio pitched well, and here's the man coming up, the man from Downers Grove, Illinois, the mayor of Klein Family Field, joining us here right now. As we're going to try and get him ready for a little post-game fireworks. But hey, man, senior day here, and you come clutch with a big base hit to start things off with. Drive in 2. Take us through that at bat, and what does senior day mean to you?
Well, senior day means everything to not only me but all the other seniors. The day is kind of about us, and I was really proud of all the seniors and how they kind of handled going through.
You got a little fans behind you?
Yeah, some of the guys haven't played very much, but I think they stepped up and did a great job of accepting that role. And in the at bat, I was just trying to see something up and find some barrel.
You essentially were the biggest 2 runs that you drove in. What does that do for your psyche as you kind of get ready to finish off your senior season, getting that big base hit?
No, I'm just taking it day by day and kind of game by game and just trying to see how many balls I can hit hard. And, my goal is to go up there and 4 at-bats and, find 4 barrels. So that's just kind of my goal going through the rest of the month. And, if I do that, then the rest of it will just take care of itself.
Talk about the pitching performance tonight. Cooper Casad takes the mound for to start everything off with, and he pitches 5 strong innings for you guys. And then that pitching performance tonight just kind of shut it all down.
Yeah, Coop did a great job. As of late, he's been Chevin and he's been Dyson, and he's really stepped up for us. We've had a lot of injuries, especially in our pitching staff, and Coop stepped up today and put us in a great position for a win.
Lucas Halstead, I've talked to many times here, and the season's not done for you guys. What is the focus here as we finish off this season?
Our focus is to be dream killers. There's a lot of teams out there that have some high hopes, and our goal right now is to just kind of ruin those hopes and take as many games from them as we possibly can, and see how many wins we can finish with.
Well, congratulations on this win. Snaps a 5-game losing streak, and we look forward to starting a little streak of your own starting tomorrow as you take Portland on one more time.
Absolutely. Thanks, Jeff. Appreciate it.
All right, buddy. So that was Danny Mayer, the outfielder for the University of Pacific Tigers. We may have one more. I'm trying to see if we get Vince Robio. But, Paul, your thoughts about that, after talking to Danny?
Yeah, like you said, they realize that they're not going to be making the conference tournament, but they have a chance to end the hopes of teams,
countdown to the
that are hoping to make the conference tournament. And sounds like we're about to have some fireworks.
Well, let's go ahead and kick it right back up to the studio. Put us to break there, Paul, and then when we come back, we'll close the window and take a couple of final thoughts, as we will not have Vince Robio. He's going to go ahead and ice that arm, and we'll be back here in just a moment.
How can we help prepare our kids for the future? Hi, this is Roger McGuinn. These days, our children face challenges unimaginable to us only a generation ago. We adults need to help our kids find something in school that really sparks their interest and keeps them involved. If that something happens to be music, the child will benefit in so many ways. Playing music in school is a great way to make friends. Studies are showing that kids involved in music are less likely to get into trouble, and kids who studied music find science and math easier to grasp. They tend to score higher on SATs. It has something to do with something called spatial IQ. So get your kids involved with school music. It's a great way to help prepare them for life.
A PSA brought to you by MENC, the National Association for Music Education, and the National Anthem Project, the campaign to restore America's voice through music education. Music, part of a sound education.
In 1805, Lewis and Clark described in their journals a country teeming with wildlife.
Bison as far as the eye can see, rivers churning with fish.
They wrote of scenes of endless beauty and of meeting more than 100 nations of American Indian, whose lives were one with our environment. Now, imagine what Lewis and Clark and the American Indians they met would say if they walked the trail today. Would they be pleased?
There are herds of homes where the buffalo once roamed.
Or would they feel differently?
Something must be done to save what's left of this great place.
As we commemorate the Lewis and Clark Bicentennial, we encourage you to consider what's been lost and what we can do to preserve what's left of the trail that still winds through us all. Walk with Lewis and Clark and see what you discover at www.lewisandclark200.org.
This is a public service message of the National Council of the Lewis and Clark Bicentennial, the Missouri Historical Society, and the Ad Council.
Fireworks are going off here at Klein Family Field, and of course, rightfully so, as the Tigers have become victorious here tonight, 3-1 over the Portland Pilots, and Jeff Dominic along with Paul Meiskens. And Paul, as we are watching some fireworks here, that sets up for possibly a good game here tomorrow at 12 o'clock.
Yeah, we didn't quite see the offensive fireworks that we thought we were going to see tonight like last night, but we saw great pitching performances here this afternoon for both sides, and finally the Tigers able to come through and get that win, and now they have a chance to come back out tomorrow and try to win a series, and build off that for the final part of the season, and try to crush some dreams, like Danny Mayer said.
I like the way that I like the way that he said it. That he's he understands that the season may not have turned out the way that he wanted to, but he understands that, you know what, tomorrow we can focus on tomorrow, and then we can start really focusing on Santa Clara and USF. Those are the two remaining WCC matchups that they have left. Let's give you some scores around the West Coast Conference. BYU beats San Francisco USF 11-5. Santa Clara over Pepperdine 2-1. St. Mary's 9-8, and LMU currently beating San Diego 10-3. And as we mentioned, our game here tonight, the University of Pacific Tigers victorious over the Portland Pilots. And we'll try and give you some standings here in just a moment as well. And with that win tonight, we will say that the standings currently the Tigers and Portland Pilots are still tied for in the area of the bottom part of the pack as BYU 14-4 in conference play, San Diego 14-5, 28-12 overall, BYU 25-14. LMU in the 3 spot, they're 14-5, Gonzaga 14-6, St. Mary's 11-6, Pepperdine 6-11. As well as Santa Clara. USF 7-14, Portland 5-14, and the Pacific Tigers at 2-17. So tomorrow, once again, the game will be at 12 o'clock. Myself and John Mark Vaness will all be here. And the score for the final time here at Klein Family Field. The University of Pacific Tigers take this one 3-1 over the Portland Pilots. For Paul Meiskens, the entire athletic department, Mr. Michael January, the producer, the entire communications department here at the University of Pacific, I'm Jeff Dominic saying good night. We'll see you here tomorrow at 12 o'clock here on the W.TV and on the Tiger Digital Network.